Hey, how y'all doing out there? Today I want to do my comparison between the Poco X3 NFC and the OnePlus 7T Pro. Now, of course, it's just a comparison. Everybody has their own opinion. I'm just going to give you mine. Now, the Poco X3 was released in 2020 of this year, and the OnePlus 7T Pro was released last year in 2019. The Poco X3 is a budget device. Keep that in mind, based on the price. Not going to seem like it based on the specs that I'm going to tell you about, but it is a budget device. The OnePlus 7T Pro is considered a flagship because of these reasons, to some, not to all. It has an Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, a 90 hertz refresh rate, Quad HD Plus Fluid AMOLED display, and dual stereo speakers. Now, because of that, some people may consider this a flagship. Now, I don't quite consider it a flagship, but it is close. But the reasons why I don't consider it a flagship are for these reasons and these reasons alone. No IP68 water and dust resistance, no expandable memory, no wireless charging, and the cameras are not flagship level. I'm going to say it again. No IP68 water and dust resistance, no expandable memory, no wireless charging, and the cameras are not flagship specs. They're not flagship worthy. They're just not up to flagship level. So those are the reasons why I don't consider the OnePlus 7T Pro a flagship device. Now, they've rectified that with the OnePlus 8 Pro because it has all of these things I just mentioned here, except they still don't have expandable memory, which is something I hope OnePlus will change. And I hope they're listening to me now. OnePlus, please give us expandable memory because you're only giving us 256 gigs at max, and it's not enough. Now, at least offer us, if you're not going to give us expandable memory, at least offer us a 512 gig variant. But it would be nice to have expandable memory. To me, that's the only thing that's missing from that device now is expandable memory. You gave us the wireless charging, you gave us the IP rating, you gave us flagship cameras, give us expandable memory. And you're giving us an always-on display, but give us expandable memory. All right. So let's get into it. Now with the Poco, I'm sorry, let me switch these around so I don't confuse myself. All right. So what you have here, Poco X3 NFC, OnePlus 7T Pro. All right. Both of these phones are great, and I think this is going to be a great comparison. Now, some people may not consider it a really good comparison, but I do. All right. And you'll see why as I go along. So when it comes to the Poco X3, let's start off first with the price. You got 6 gigs of RAM, and you get a 64 gig. You have a 64 gig variant that goes for $250 brand new. That's the latest prices I've seen. And also they have a 6 gigs of RAM, 28 gig variant that goes for $270 brand new on eBay. So for 64 gigs, you're gonna get, you pay $250 with 6 gigs, and 6 gigs for 128 gigs. 270 brand new. Both I've seen on eBay. So just go to ebay.com, type in Poco X3 NFC, and the different prices will come up, and you just go from there. But if you get it used or you get it refurbished, it might be even cheaper. All right. And with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're getting 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage, and I've seen it for $530 brand new, $370 refurbished, $470 open box, and $330 pre-owned. Also, ebay.com. Just go to ebay.com, type in OnePlus 7T Pro, and you'll see all the different price settings for that. So when it comes to price, and if it's only about price, then I'll just tell you now, you want to go with the Poco X3 NFC because it's going to be considerably cheaper. Okay? All right. Now, if it's not just about price, then keep listening. Next, let's talk about the design. Now, there's not a whole lot to say about the design of the Poco. I'll show you the design. It's not bad, but it's okay. See, this is what you have. You got your little Poco emblem there. This is about it. Okay, it's an okay design. It's not bad, but it's okay. No biggie. Not bad, but it's just, okay. Oh, boy. Now I'm gonna take off the case for this OnePlus so you can see it. See that? I like the design. This has the better design in my opinion. I love that that blue, okay, whatever color they call it. I forget what they call it, but I love that blue. I love the camera, how it's, you know, set up. You know, it's not protruding out of the phone. I love that. The OnePlus, no writing, just OnePlus at the bottom. I love this. Okay, I love this design, and it has a frosted back, no fingerprints at all. And keep in mind, it's all metal and glass. So when it comes to design, I definitely like the OnePlus design better, easily, when it comes to design. All right, now that's just my opinion. You may think the Poco X3 has a better design, but I like OnePlus better. All right, let's talk about build quality. Now the Poco X3 has Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and an aluminum frame, but it has a plastic back. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, you also have Gorilla Glass 5 on the front, but you also have it on the back, and you have an aluminum frame and a matte finish. So when it comes to build quality, the build quality is better on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Next thing, let's talk about display. With the Poco X3 NFC, you got a 6.67 inch IPS LCD Full HD Plus 1080p display with a 91% screen to body ratio and 120 hertz refresh rate and HDR10. So this does have a beautiful display, which you can see. It's very nice. Okay, beautiful, but it's LCD, and I don't like LCD displays all that much because the colors are not as vibrant and the blacks are not super deep black. I prefer an AMOLED or OLED display, but this IPS LCD display is beautiful. And as you can see, you have really no bezels at all, very, very thin at the bottom, and you got the little teeny punch out for the camera at the top and no bezels on the side at all. So you're getting pretty much all display, and it's a big display at 6.67 inches. All right, now with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're also getting a 6.67 inch, but the difference with this one, you're getting a Quad HD Plus Super AMOLED fluid display with a 90 hertz refresh rate, HDR10 plus, and an 88.1% screen to body ratio. And the difference of this one from that one, no camera cutout, all display, no bezels, all display. Okay, for them people that don't like notches, they don't like camera cutouts, you ain't gotta worry about that because you got a pop-up selfie camera. So you're getting all display, and you're getting a Quad HD display, AMOLED display, a Quad HD Plus AMOLED display with a 90 hertz refresh rate. Now I did say this one has a 120 refresh rate, but I'm gonna tell you right now, all refresh rates are not created equal. The refresh rate on this phone is vastly superior than that of the Poco X3. This one is way smoother and it's much faster, and the scrolling speeds on this is ridiculous. There's just no comparison, okay? None whatsoever. So at 90 hertz, there's no difference between 90 and 120 hertz. Now there is a difference between 60 and 90, but to me, and I've used 120, other than this, I've used 60, I've used 90, and to me, there's no difference between 90 and 120. It's just numbers. Some people say they can tell the difference. I can't. But this does have a pop-up selfie camera. I'll show it to you really quick so you can see it. Turn it off. See it right there? Boom. See it right there? Love that. Pop right up, go right down. Some people may like that. I like it. And it also has drop protection. So if you do drop the phone, if it feels like it's falling, it'll automatically retract the camera back into the housing. So you don't have to worry about breaking it. And it's been very durable. I haven't had any issues with it at all. All right, let's talk about software. Poco X3 is running Android 10 with the MIUI skin on top. Now the MIUI is okay. It's, it's customizable, but it's not organized very well. So I'm not a big fan of the MIUI, to be honest with you. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, is running Android 10 also with Oxygen OS skin on top of Android. Oxygen OS is the real deal. It's nice and customizable, but it's so optimized so very well. I mean, it's optimized extremely well. It's just, I love Oxygen OS. It's my favorite skin outside of One UI. One UI is number one. Oxygen OS is definitely number two. Let's talk about performance. Now, with the Poco X3, you got the Snapdragon 732G. And with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you got the Snapdragon 855 Plus. Which one runs better? Which one runs faster? That's going to be the OnePlus 7T Pro. It just flies through everything, and it's super silky, buttery, smooth. Okay? Whatever word you want to use to describe smoothness and speed, this phone has it. Okay? Now, this phone does run well, but it can't keep up with the speed of this phone. It just can't. Okay? But this one still runs very well. It's fast and it's smooth with that 120 hertz, so you're not going to have an issue with it. But the OnePlus 7T Pro processor is superior. Next thing, RAM. The Poco X3 has 6 gigs of LPDDR4 RAM, and the OnePlus 7T Pro has 12 gigs of RAM. Now, the LPDDR4 RAM is good because it makes the phone run a little bit more efficiently, and that's good. But I'll take 12 gigs of RAM because you're getting double the RAM, and OnePlus always optimizes their software extremely well. But both, and for me, 6 gigs of RAM is a sweet spot. So RAM management on both is good, but the RAM management on the OnePlus 7T Pro is actually better. Next thing, let's talk about internal storage. With the Poco X3, you're getting 128 gigs of internal storage, and with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're getting 256 gigs of internal storage. So when it comes to internal storage, right out of the box, you're going to get double the storage on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Now, let's talk about expandable memory. With the Poco X3, you're getting 256 gigs of expandable memory. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're getting no expandable memory. Now, expandable memory is important to you and it's something you have to have. Then I would go with the Poco X3 NFC. Because now for me, I do need expandable memory. But 256 gigs I can live with. But this is still better overall because you're getting 128 already and you're getting an additional 256 gigs. So you're going to get more storage between the two. So if storage is a big issue for you, I would say go with the Poco X3 because this has no expandable memory at all. And they only offer the one 256 gig variant. Next thing, let's talk about headphone jack. Headphone jack, you're getting a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the Poco X3 NFC. You are getting no headphone jack on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Now, if having a headphone jack is important to you, then you definitely want to go with the Poco X3. If it doesn't matter, then I would say go with this one because when it comes to overall sound quality, I think the OnePlus 7T Pro sounds a little bit better when you plug in a set of USB Type-C headphones. But I think, but if you just need a headphone jack, period, then I would say go with the I would say go with the Poco X3. Now, I prefer headphone jacks, but unfortunately with the flagship device, for some reason they took all the headphone jacks away, but they'll still put them in budget and mid-tier devices, which makes no sense to me. But I digress. Next thing, let's talk about wireless charging. With the Poco X3, you get no wireless charging, and also with the OnePlus 7T Pro, no wireless charging, so you're not getting it on either device. Next thing, let's talk about battery life. Now, with the Poco X3 NFC, it has a whopping 5,160 milliamp battery. Battery in this phone is huge, okay? And it also features 33 watt super fast charging. So that's impressive for a budget device. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're getting a 4,085 milliamp battery that features 30 watt warp charging. Now, which charging is faster? It's going to be the Poco X3. You're getting 33 watt super fast charging over the 30 watt fast charging, okay? Now, when it comes to overall battery life, both of these get you through 2 full days, okay? Now, the Poco is going to last you a little bit longer because it has a much larger battery in it. So with super heavy use, 2 full days easy. With my OnePlus, medium to heavy, day and a half to 2. But if I use the phone light, this is going to outlast even the Poco. Light to medium use, I can get 7 to 8 days. With the Poco, I'll probably get 5 days. So I don't know what it is about this how OnePlus optimized their software to make this battery just a monster. Even with this battery being much bigger, it still ain't outlasting the OnePlus 7T Pro. But for the average consumer, 2 days, you ain't gonna have a problem. 2 days easily, even with heavy usage on the Poco X3, okay? So both excellent battery life. Speaker quality. Now this is a good one, okay? Both have dual stereo speakers, okay? Both of them. And they both sound pretty good. But when I was listening to movies on both, the OnePlus 7T Pro, just the sound quality is just a little bit better than that of the Poco X3 NFC, okay? Just my hearing. Now, you listen to both, you may think different, but for me testing, OnePlus sounds a little better with overall quality of sound. All right, next thing. Let's talk about Face Unlock. Now, both have Face Unlock. Both are fast. OnePlus is actually a little bit faster, but the difference is this has a pop-up selfie camera, and this one has the hole punch at the top. Both are fast, but the OnePlus is faster. All right. Next thing, fingerprint sensor. Now with the with the Poco X3, you have the fingerprint sensor built into the side of the display, and it's combined with the power button. And with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you have an in-display fingerprint sensor. Both are 100% and both are fast. Now, which one would I prefer? Just because I'm a tech enthusiast, I would go with the OnePlus 7T Pro because it's built into the display. For the people that like a physical fingerprint sensor, you're going to want the Poco X3 NFC because it's built into the side and it's a physical fingerprint sensor. So it just depends on you. But both are 100% accurate and both are extremely fast. Because the Poco X3 is instant, and also the OnePlus 7T Pro is instant when it comes to speed of the fingerprint sensor. All right, next thing, let's talk about NFC. Both phones have NFC. LED notification sensor. Poco X3 does have a notification LED notification sensor built underneath near where the earpiece is. Now you can't see it right now because I have the screen on, but it does have one. The OnePlus 7T Pro does not have an LED notification sensor. Now, this not the biggest deal right now, but this phone is getting an always-on display. Once I get my update to Android 11 in the latest Oxygen OS software, I'm going to get always-on display, so that's not going to be a problem. And I prefer an always-on display over an LED notification sensor. That's just me. All right, next thing, IR blaster. The Poco X3 NFC, you're definitely getting an IR blaster. That's a universal remote control. See that? A universal remote control. You're not getting this on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Where you can control your TV. Excuse me, and not just your TV, any TV. You just got to program it, and your AC, your stereo system, anything that has infrared, you can control using this IR blaster, and I absolutely love it. Okay? That's something you're not going to get on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Next thing, let's talk about water protection. Now, the Poco X3 NFC has IP53 splash proof protection. The OnePlus 7T Pro has no IPS certified water protection at all. Now, it is said that this phone from OnePlus can survive splashes, okay, but it's not certified. So if you're concerned about it being certified, then I would go with the Poco X3 NFC. But this one is told to survive splashes. I don't know. I'm not going to take the chance. So I'd rather go with something that's certified. But that's just me, y'all. Next thing, always on display. Neither phone has always on displays. But like I said before, the OnePlus is getting an always on display as soon as I get upgraded to the latest version of Oxygen OS. Next thing, let's talk about Bluetooth. Both have Bluetooth 5.1. Next thing, second space. Now, second space basically allows you to have two phones in one. I'm not going to get into that because I don't, the video's already running long, but basically you could use this. I went over this in my full review of this device. You can check that out at your leisure, but you can basically you have two phones in one. You're not going to get that on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Next thing, both phones came with a case in the box, which I like. I think every phone should come with a case in the box. It don't have to be an expensive case. It don't have to be a super nice case. It just should be a case in the box for you to put on your phone if you choose to use a case until you get some other cases later on. But it should come with a case in the box, at least one case. Both come with also pre-installed screen protectors, which I always love because I don't want to go through the task and aggravation of trying to put on always on display and going through all these steps that people do. I don't have the patience for it. So I prefer to have a screen protector already built on, and I'm not taking it off. I know some people, that's the first thing they do. They take off the screen protector. I'm not doing that. I prefer it to stay on there because when I took my screen protector off my Note 10 Plus, a day right after I did it, I incurred this deep, huge scratch on my screen that I can't get rid of. So I'm not taking no pre-installed screen protectors off my phones ever again. Not going to happen. Next thing, neither device come with headphones in the box, which is a disappointment because this phone, when it came out, it was over $700. This one, I was surprised, but Xiaomi, I'm told, never put headphones in the box with their devices, which I think is a mistake. I think they should do that. But I know now companies are trying to move away from giving people headphones, which I absolutely don't agree with. Like Samsung now, they talking not only did they remove the headphones from the Note 20 Ultra, now they talking about with the S21, no headphones and no charger like Apple. Now I'm done. I'm out because that's ridiculous. You're going to keep charging me over $1,000 and now I can't get a charger? Nah, I'm not feeling that at all. So neither one of these comes with headphones. Now let's talk about the cameras. The Poco X3 NFC come with 4 cameras. The OnePlus 7T Pro come with 3 cameras. But when it comes to overall photo and video quality, the Poco X3 NFC is vastly superior to that of the OnePlus 7T Pro. It just is. Now I can't explain it, but these cameras on this phone are really good. I mean, even in dark lighting, the quality is excellent. It just is. So that's just my experience. Next thing, software support and future updates. I'm not sure. I can't get no information as far as how many updates. I know this is going to get Android 11, but as far as more updates, as far as MIUI, I don't know. But with the OnePlus, you're going to get Android 11 and Android 12. I do know that. And you're going to get security updates. So your best bet as far as if you're concerned about security updates, I go OnePlus 7T Pro. All right, next thing, and that's it. Actually, that was the last thing. So that was my comparison between the Xiaomi Poco X3 NFC and the OnePlus 7T Pro. Both are great devices. I love both devices, honestly. But if I had to pick between the two, I'm going with OnePlus 7T Pro, and I'm gonna tell you why. Just the performance, just based on performance alone, makes me want to keep, go with this device. Okay. They got a track record of speed, smoothness, fluidity, the 90 hertz refresh rate, the Quad HD Super AMOLED display, which is what I prefer over IPS LCD. The dual stereo speakers sound better. The build quality is better. I love that pop-up selfie. I like not having no cutout, nothing, just all display. I just love this device. I do like this one because it comes with some great cameras. 91% screen to body ratio. The display is good. It's just not as good as a Super AMOLED display. The speakers are nice. It has a headphone jack. It has a universal remote control. And it has a big giant battery that'll last you easily 2 days. So both are great in their own right. And this one is considerably cheaper. So if it's about price, I would go with this one. But if it's not about price and it's, you want more quality and a better performance, then you want the OnePlus 7T Pro. This phone is an absolute beast. I'm just trying to tell you. It's just an absolute beast. And you get this phone, you're going to absolutely love it. Okay? But if money is an issue, go with the Poco X3 NFC. All right, thank you for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate you. Hope everybody's doing fine and staying safe. And I'll catch you guys out. Check you guys out in the next one. Peace.